Hey, fellow fanatics, we needed to jump on here and have a quick State of Alliance address for the Redraft League because we found some discrepancies and errors in our scoring system. I see two people have jumped on. If you're out there, please comment to me as I'm going through this. But hopefully it'll make it easier to understand what I'm saying if you ask questions. For those of you that know me, know that I take this league very seriously. I've been doing this for 30 years, and when I find a mistake, I truly take it to heart. So I want to be transparent with everyone, especially since we are playing for money, and I want to uphold the integrity of the name Fantasy Sports Alliance. So for those of you who read the rules on the MFL page, you know what the scoring system should be. I made the comment in Discord last night that I felt that Pittsburgh tight end Pat Fryermuth's points didn't seem right to me. I thought maybe it was just a delay in MFL scoring and it would be corrected this morning. I get on this morning, do a quick check, and there's no changes. So I go into damage control to figure out why this might be. And I found the mistake. And because I found it, I want to admit to that mistake, my mistake. In the rules, it was published that a quarterback would get 0.04 points for every yard thrown, and that running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends would get 0.1 point for every yard that they gained. Well, that didn't really translate over into MFL. The way the setting is right now, it is 1 point for every 25 yards passing, no decimals, and 1 point for every 10 yards rushing or receiving, no decimals. So, for example, if a player got 55 yards rushing, instead of them getting 5.5 points like they should, they're only getting 5 points. The other discrepancy I found was that the offensive players that are getting tackles on, let's say, a turnover, let's say there's an interception or fumble recovery, and now the offense is on defense and they have to get a tackle, tackles aren't being added to the offensive players' points either. And that was one of the things that I found last night in Fryermuth's errors in his scoring. There was a tackle on a turnover last night, and he had the one reception for 2 yards. So it should have been 1.2 more points that he did not get. Wouldn't have changed the outcome of my game. However, there were some really close scores last week, week 1, and some really close scores this week, week 2. We had one game that was separated by 1.2 points. We had another game that was separated by 0.6 points. So changing the rules might change the outcome of weeks 1 and weeks 2 games. According to MFL, I can change the rules now and it will retroactively affect weeks 1 and week 2. I went through, checked all of their help sections, took screenshots of it so I would know exactly how to do it. I won't really know if it's going to work until I try it, though. Sean says, that's me. You must be one of those close games. I think there was 2 games that were 1.2 points, and there was one game that was 0.6 points. I want to fix this now because if you all know, I'm a very big stickler of what it says in the rules is what we're going to do, and that's not what we're doing right now. I want to do this before we get too far into the season. I wanted to do it before someone else other than me notices it as well and goes, WTF, what the heck, what happened to my points all these weeks ago? I wanted to be completely transparent because I think as I go to change these rules, MFL is going to send an email saying, hey, the commissioner has changed the scoring system. And I want everybody to know that I want to be reflective of what our rules say and what was published there when we were doing the membership drive. And I want it to be the same as what we're getting on the competition side. So I'm going to make these changes. I'm going to let everybody know on Discord if it allowed me to retroactively change weeks 1 and 2 and to see if it changed the outcomes of any of the games from week 1 and 2. I will make the announcement in Discord, and then I will make it as an announcement on the show tomorrow night as well. I took a screenshot of all of the week 1's standings for each one of the regions, and I took a screenshot of the overall live scoring from this week. This will tell me if there's any major changes that will affect the wins and losses. Most certainly, you can expect the points for and points against to change in the standings. So I'm sorry I made this mistake. I hope you all can forgive me as I try to make this right. Keep your eyes peeled on Discord for any announcements pertaining to this. And all I can do is say thanks. Stick with me. Sorry, this makes it, after doing this for 30 years, makes us look kind of bush league at this point. But I definitely wanted to fix the mistake. I talked to Matt Krull about this, who is the co-commissioner of the Redraft League. We came to an agreement that we needed to do this sooner than later. It needed to happen. We couldn't just glance over it for the whole season. We will let you know if this affects anything as soon as I find out if it does. And then we'll go from there. And we will be back for our regularly scheduled broadcast tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. East Coast time. See you all there. And thanks again, Alliance.